It's always interesting to look at the history of a football club, and in this video I am pleased to recall a moment in the history of Warminster Town Football Club. We're going to look back at a player who was born in Warminster and played for the town as a youth and young man and went on to play for some much larger clubs. This is the story of Willie Haines. Wyndham William Pretoria Haines was born on July the 14th, 1900, at Warminster Common, Warminster. Willie went to Sanborn School, which is very close to the current site of Warminster Town Football Club, and you can see that on the map. He started his football career playing for Warminster Town when the ground was at Holly Lodge, Boreham Road. Willie was a centre forward who went on to have a great goal-scoring record. Willie moved from playing for Warminster Town to Frome Town Football Club, who were then playing in the Western League. His next move was to Portsmouth in December 1922, who were then playing in the Football League Division 3 South. Between 1922 and 1928, Willie made 164 league appearances for Pompey and scored 119 goals. In his first season at Portsmouth, Willie only made 6 appearances, but did score 3 goals. The following season saw the 5'7" centre-forward make 30 league appearances and score an incredible 28 goals, an enviable record. Haines gained the nickname Farmer's Boy. It's recorded that Willie had a unique style of football and would play the game at a leisurely pace, and rather than strike the ball hard, would place it, as described at the time, with tantalising precision. In Portsmouth's first season in the second division, Haines shared the goal scoring with Jack Mackey, with both players scoring 17 goals as Pompey finished in a creditable 4th place in the table. Haines was top scorer in the next 2 seasons with 20 goals in 1925-26 when Portsmouth finished in mid-table, and 40 goals from 42 appearances in 1926-27 as Pompey gained promotion to the First Division as runners-up, squeezing out Manchester City on goal average by a margin of just 0.006. That was close. Haines' goal tally included a hat-trick scored in a 9-1 victory over Notts County on 9th of April 1927. This remains Portsmouth's record margin of victory. Going into the final match of the season, Portsmouth and Manchester City were on the same number of points with near identical goal averages. The match between Manchester City and Bradford City had started before Portsmouth's match against Preston North End and finished 8-0. At this time, Portsmouth were also winning 4-1, but needed to score one more goal to take the runner-up spot. Haines managed to score the vital goal in the final minutes of the game, thus sending Portsmouth up by the narrowest of margins. For Portsmouth's first season in the top flight, Haines shared the goal scoring with newly recruited Jack Smith, both scoring 11 goals, with fellow forwards David Watson and Welsh international Fred Cook, both contributing 10, as they narrowly avoided relegation, finishing in 20th place in the table. By the end of the season, Haines was out of favour with new manager Jack Tinn, who was building a team for the future, with Jack Weddell taking over the position of centre-forward. In May 1928, Haines moved up the Solent to join local rivals Southampton. In his 6 seasons at Fratton Park, Haines scored 129 goals from 179 appearances in all competitions. So how did Willie Haines fare at Southampton? Would he continue to score so many goals? At Southampton, Haines joined a club which had been struggling financially and on the pitch. He linked up with his former Portsmouth colleague Jerry Mackey and was an immediate success. On the 3rd of November 1928, he scored 4 goals in an 8-2 victory over Blackpool at the Dell. Haynes's 16 goals were a major factor in the Saints finishing fourth in the second division table. Haines was a well-built country boy who soon became as popular at the Dell as he had been at Fratton Park. Despite his build and power, he would often take penalties without a run-up. In the following season, Haines was injured in September and lost his place at centre-forward to Dick Rowley before returning to his side in February 1930. He marked his return by scoring 5 goals in the first 3 matches back and ended the season with 15 goals from 19 appearances. By now, manager Arthur Chadwick was forced to sell players to improve the club's finances, and Rowley had been sold to Tottenham Hotspur in February. At the time of his departure, Rowley had scored 25 goals from 25 league appearances, and with him went Saints' last hopes of promotion, and they finished 7th in the table. Haines missed the first half of the 1930-31 season because of injury, returning to the side on 27th of December. Once back in the side, he embarked on a goal-scoring run with 7 goals in his first 4 games and went on to become top scorer for the club with 15 goals from 21 appearances. In his final season at the Dell, Haines was plagued by injuries and was only able to make 3 appearances with various players, including Arthur Haddleton and Johnny McIlwain, and successfully trying to replace him at centre-forward before the emergence of Ted Drake from the reserves. Haines retired in the summer of 1932, having scored a creditable 47 goals from 71 first-team appearances for the Saints. His retirement, though, was short-lived. Let's see what happened next to Willie Haines. In September 1932, Willie Haines returned to the Western League by playing for Weymouth, for whom he scored an incredible 262 goals in 204 appearances. He made a huge impact at that club, and you can tell that from the amount of trophies they won in that period. In the 1933-34 season, they were Western League champions. They were winners of the Dorset Senior Cup, winners of the A-Court Shield, even also winning a 6-a-side championship, the Gerrish Cup, and even the Dorset Junior Cup for the reserves. Great success for the club. In 1934-35, they were winners of the A-Court Shield, winners of the Weymouth Hospital Cup, and the reserves did quite well in a couple of cups as well. In 1935-36, they were the Western League runners-up. 36-37, they were the Western League champions, winners of the Dorset Senior Cup, winners of the A-Court Shield, and winners of the Weymouth Hospital Cup. And the reserves did quite well as Dorset League champions as well. In 37-38, they were winners of, again, Western League champions, winners of the Weymouth Hospital Cup. And in 6-a-side, winners of the Gerrish Cup. Not sure if Willie Haines had any part in that one, but an amazing record in the time that Willie Haines was at the club. So I'm sure Weymouth certainly appreciated him, and any striker looking at that record of 262 goals in 204 appearances would absolutely love to have that record attached to their name. What a wonderful footballing career Willie Haines had. Late in the 1930s, he returned to Frome. In fact, he became the landlord of the Vine Inn, which he ran until 1949. He later moved into the dry cleaning business, and it seems he had quite a successful and well-known dry cleaning business. In 1960, he became the president of the Portsmouth Supporters Club. Such was the recognition of his goal-scoring abilities for that club, along with the others, of course, that he played for. Willie Haines died on November the 5th, 1974. We hope you've enjoyed this history of Willie Haines, its connection too with Warminster Town Football Club. And we aim to bring you more videos about historical events at Warminster Town Football Club, along with other subjects, as and when we can do so. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like and share. It would be good to have you as a subscriber, so please do click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, we'll also be able to bring you live football matches as we follow Warminster Town both home and away.